I use those gutters up there for roof catchment, for rain catchment for my water system for the cistern. I originally put the gutters up there with the ladders, put the ladder up on the wall and climbed up there and kind of bent out, leaned out over the soffits there and put the gutters up the first time I put them up. I'm not exactly in the kind of shape to do that anymore. It involved moving the ladder a lot and kind of hanging up there in the air and, like I said, leaning way out off the ladder and hanging off to the rafter tails and stuff like that. Last few years I've been able to use the man bucket on the Bobcat to get up there to take care of those, and that made it a lot easier, except they had to have somebody helping, somebody run Bobcat while I was up there doing that. Now we've got this man lift, and that's going to make things a whole lot different because I can run it by myself and I don't have to move the machine at all to do the whole roof up here. I don't have to move it every 4 feet or 5 feet or whatever down there. Predicting what the winter is going to be like here is just about impossible. There's some years where we've gotten snow in October and freezing weather in October and November, and other winters where it stayed about 45, even up to 50 degrees and rain most of the winter. Well, when we get snow, especially when we get that variable temperature where the snow melts and refreezes right away onto the roof, as the snow slides off the roof up there and comes over that edge, it builds up in those gutters and has torn the gutters off there. So I usually try to get back here before the weather gets too bad and take the gutters down, but I want to leave them up as long as possible because that's the water supply for the cistern. Well, there have been several years where I've left it on too long and we got snow and mud and stuff build up back here and we couldn't get the machinery back here to get up there and take it off, and the gutters wound up getting tore off and broke up. But last winter I got them down pretty early. So a lot of times I'll just take the gutters down and leave the hangers up there, but last winter I took all the hangers and everything down too, because sometimes the snow coming, ice coming off that roof will break the hangers, even if the gutters aren't up there. So anyway, I stripped everything off of it last winter. We'll go up and rehang the gutters. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go down there to where that collection point is, where the downspout is, and I'm going to put a string line in there and run it down to this end, pull it tight on this end. So I want to have a nice even drop from this end of the house down to the downspout there, so all the water runs down that. Well, anyway, I'm going to take the man lift out, and like I said, the first thing I'm going to do is run down there and tack a string line in right there where that T is for that gutter. Put a little shingle nail in right here in the fascia and brought that string line down here, tied it off tight, get it running just below the drip edge on there, and then down to where the T is on the gutter, where the downspout is on it. So that gives me a nice even slope all the way down. Got this end of the gutter put up there, the short stub. Probably need a new downspout T there. Plastic on that has gotten pretty worn out and crappy. Anyway, I've got a little short section right there. I managed to glue those together with a little bit of PRC 5200. Well, I've got all of the stuff run down here now. It's not right yet because there's a coupling down there between that first section and the second section. I don't have, well, neither one of those couplings I have anchored in yet, and I don't have the gutter all set up in the hangers yet. But it's there. Now I'll just back down the side of the house here and snap those into the hangers and hang those other two where the couplings are on them. And, well, the gutter's all up on this side, and it's got a nice drop, even drop all the way down. I gotta say that stuff is a lot easier to put on there when the sun's heating it up than it is when it's cold outside. A lot of those couplings and stuff on there are broken up and chewed up and stuff from taking them on and off in the cold and from the ice and stuff, snow and stuff, knocking them off of there. But the manufacturer of that brand of gutters is no longer in business, so I kind of got to try to make do with what we've got. I've got a few extra couplings and stuff out here, but I don't want to use them all up. These are good enough. So in the little gaps there where the couplings are, they've got neoprene gaskets on them, and they snap in there. But where they're not snapping in tight, I took some sealant, silicone sealant, and sealed up all those gaps and stuff in there. So that should be pretty good for this year. Now I got to get the downspout set up, my collection spot set up, and everything down there. I got the gutter put up on the other side. I don't have everything set up to run the water out of the other side down into the water tank yet. But now that I've got the man lift up here and I can get up there, I'm going to put a gutter up on this side. I've never had the gutter up on this side before because I put it on the other side up initially with a ladder, and I don't have a ladder tall enough to get up there or the guts to do it, and I couldn't get up there with Bobcat or anything on that man lift. Anyway, with this man lift I can get up there and put those gutters on there, and I've got a whole bunch of gutter material that I bought from a fella here a few years ago. That's what I'm going to do now. I've got 3 sections of gutter up, and I've only got about maybe 6 feet of the next one to put up. So that one will have to be cut, and I'll have to put in the downspout, or the T for the downspout right here. Now, like I said before, what I wanted to do was put an elbow in that and come around this corner, but I guess that wouldn't have worked either because this soffit on this side, on the main side, is lower down than the soffit off of that cornice. Well, anyway, what I'll have to do is go ahead and put the T in right here so I can take the downspout down the side of the house right here. I'll take it down a little ways and then figure out some way to put a hose on it or something so the water will dump into the tank down there. So this stuff's a little different than the stuff that I had been putting on. You see it's got a kind of a shape to it there, and the hangers slide on. They slide down. They got grooves or forms in them that go underneath that lip there on both the front and the back, and they just slide down the track. So you have to put those on first before you put them up. In here is a coupling. It's short. It's a double coupling, and the white portion there goes inside. It has sponge rubber, neoprene, I don't know what kind of stuff in there for a gasket on it on the inside. Anyway, that fits in underneath those lips, and then they got the second piece that fits over the outside, snaps over it. I know those are a son of a gun to put on when it's cold. Right now they're out in the sunshine and everything's a little bit warmer, and it's a lot easier, but it's not much fun in the cold. And then this is the end caps here, and these are polarized because of that shape on there. They have to be a left-hand one and a right-hand one on there. Let's see if I can find it. This other gutter is just U-shaped. It doesn't matter which way it goes on. It fits on either direction. And this is a connector, coupler. It's missing the neoprene gaskets that go in it. Anyway, that goes up on the wall. You put a screw in there where you want it up on the wall, and then you snap the gutter down into it. And like I said, the gutter doesn't make any difference which way it goes. And the end caps for it are either, let's see if I got an end cap for it here. No, I don't think so. Anyway, these are the regular hangers for it, like this. There's an end cap. This one doesn't have a gasket in it either. It's just a generic end cap, but you can see it's just equal on either side. Doesn't matter which end it goes on. Well, the gutter's all attached to the soffit. So that doubles my rain collection, my water collection capability. Or at least it diverts the water away from the main part of the house down there, splash zone and stuff. Now I gotta hook up the downspouts here, so I'm gonna have to get something to figure that out. I'll have to go down and get some downspout and stuff, and I'll have to hook the elbow up there on the T, figure out all the geometry and the lengths and stuff that I need, and cut downspout and run it down the side of the house, and then I have to figure out some way to collect the water out of it. All right, I'm working on the downspout, and that looks pretty good. I cut a length, I've got a 45 in there screwed into the T, the downspout T, and then I measured it out and cut it 26 inches long and fit another elbow down there, and that's just right. Now I can put another piece of downspout up there on that one and clamp on with these clamps down the side of the house here. Well, this is what I got so far. I got the downspout coming out of there, and I put a length of 26-inch cutoff piece of downspout over to another 45-degree elbow, and then I put a 10-foot stick down from there, and then I put 3 clamps up there near the top, and those are screwed into the wall, and then I went ahead and put screws into the pipe, because there's nothing to hold that onto the pipe. It doesn't clamp tight onto the pipe except for spring pressure, and they have a tendency to start sliding down. Well, then I came down, I put another, where are we at here? I put another clamp down there towards the bottom, same thing. Then I put a flat 90-degree elbow, the one that I had up on top to begin with. It didn't work out, wasn't the right one. I put it down there, and then I put another one of the other type of elbows on there. So it turns 45 degrees right there, and then it turns another 45 degrees. So it's not going to parallel the wall of the house. It's going to stick out and wind up somewhere down there. Of course, the weight of the pipe and everything is going to hang down. So it's going to wind up somewhere down there in that tank for now. Probably going to wind up changing it sooner or later. But well, I got it for now. That's not good. Nothing good about it. But that's the best I can do for now to divert any water that might come off the roof down away from the house. And it does divert it down into the tank, but it's pretty funky. I've got those elbows right there, 45s. The one is a flat one, the other one is the opposite one, and then it's got a flexible coupling on it, and it's not meant to go that direction. It's meant to be turned the other direction, but I've got it turned that way. I went ahead and doped up the gap in there with some silicone sealant. We'll see if that holds. Anyway, there's a twist or a cant to that pipe because it's 45 degrees angles as it comes down out of there, and so it kind of cants over a little bit. I did put a clamp in. Where did I put that clamp? Right there. and I screwed it into the pipe to hold it. And then I did the same thing on that one. I put double 45s there and then just run the 8-foot pipe out, and it's just hanging free. It's pretty screwed up, but I just had to do something to make sure no water gets splashed onto the house there. Like I said, that diverts it down into the tank. So that's that for now. I've got to go to town maybe and see if they have any fittings that I can change that with. If nothing else, I can maybe put a piece of water pipe over this end here and in 90s and stuff in it, and get it to run around like that. And that's probably what I'll wind up doing. It's too late in the day now to do that. I'll have to do it tomorrow. And I want to get that inlet fixed up over there. We'll do that tomorrow now. It's getting too late to do it today. Anyway, I've got to get that finished plumbed in too. I've got some plumbing to do on the other side over there where that inlet comes into that bulkhead fitting, and then I've got to cut out that for that fitting and stuff there and put the beauty ring on it, or the terminal ring on it, and get it ready for the rain. So that's tomorrow's project. Primarily get that set up so that the rainwater comes off that other side down in there, and get that thing finished, and then we'll worry about what I'm going to do with this one.